Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty interesting, I think, in the digital finance world.
Oh, yeah. What's on the agenda?
Mastercard. They've made this move, bringing stablecoins into their global payment network.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I saw that. That's not just some small tech update, is it?
No, definitely not. It
No.
feels like a real blend of, traditional money systems and these newer digital assets.
Right. Maybe we should quickly define stablecoins just to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Good idea.
So, think of a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, but without all the wild price swings.
Because it's pegged. Right.
Exactly. Usually pegged to a stable asset, often the US dollar. So you get the blockchain benefits, faster transactions, maybe programmable payments, that kind of thing, but with price stability.
Makes sense.
And it's clearly taking off. The market's huge. What, over $230 billion in supply?
Yeah, and the transaction volume is staggering. I saw something like $5.1 trillion in just the first half of 2024.
Wow, $5.1 trillion. That's massive.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So our mission today really is to figure out what this Mastercard strategy means for the average person.
Like, is this actually going to change how we buy coffee or pay bills?
Exactly. Is it a fundamental shift? Because it feels like it could be more than just a minor tweak.
Okay, let's dive in then. What makes this Mastercard thing such a big deal? Where do we start?
Well, I think the first thing is just the sheer size of Mastercard's network.
Yeah, that's got to be number one. They're everywhere.
Over 150 million merchant locations globally. That's huge reach.
So by bringing stablecoins in, they're basically opening the door for these digital currencies to be used in, well, potentially millions of everyday shops.
Right. It's unprecedented access to the traditional retail world. Suddenly, your stablecoins aren't just stuck in some crypto wallet. You could maybe use them for groceries.
Or splitting a dinner bill, perhaps. It connects the digital asset world directly to our daily spending habits through a channel we already trust and use.
And it sounds like they're focusing heavily on making it easy for people.
Uh-huh. User-friendliness seems key.
I read about earning rewards, making payments, spending stablecoins all through, familiar card interfaces.
Exactly. Lowering the barrier to entry. They even have this thing, Mastercard Move.
Yeah, what's that?
It lets you withdraw stablecoins directly into your normal bank account.
Oh, interesting. So you don't need to be a blockchain whiz.
Precisely. You interact with it in a way that feels, well, normal, intuitive, takes away some of the complexity, or at least hides it.
Plus, there's the trust factor, isn't there?
Definitely.
Mastercard has spent decades building this reputation for security. For anyone maybe a bit nervous about crypto.
Seeing the Mastercard logo attached could make a big difference, yeah. It potentially eases those consumer concerns about security and legitimacy.
Okay, so the scale is huge, the user experience is a focus, and there's built-in trust. But how are they actually doing it? It must be complex behind the scenes.
Oh, absolutely. They're not going it alone.
Hmm.
The strategy really leans on partnerships. Key partnerships.
Like who?
Well, they're working with OKX. That's a major crypto exchange.
Right, buy and sell crypto there.
Yep. And Circle, the company behind USDC, which is a massive stablecoin.
USDC, okay. Heard of that one. Big market cap, right?
Around $60 billion, yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of liquidity there. And they're also partnering with Paxos.
Paxos, what do they do?
They're another big player. They issue various stablecoins. So it gives MasterCard options, not just tied to one specific stablecoin issuer.
So it's like building an ecosystem. Each partner brings a piece of the puzzle.
Exactly that. OKX brings the exchange users and infrastructure. They're planning a payment card together, linking crypto wallets to MasterCard acceptance points.
So MasterCard gets access to OKX's crypto-savvy users?
Precisely. Circle brings the USDC stablecoin itself, a huge pool of digital dollars, and their own payments network, which complements MasterCard's reach. And Paxos broadens the range of stablecoins supported. It creates a kind of value chain, from issuance all the way to merchant acceptance.
They've really thought through the whole life cycle of the transaction, it seems.
It looks that way. And another interesting angle here is regulation.
Always a factor in crypto.
For sure. These partnerships kind of distribute the compliance burden. Each partner handles the regulatory aspects they're best equipped for. OKX knows exchange rules. Circle and Paxos know stablecoin issuance rules.
Smart. Spreads the responsibility. Okay, this makes a lot more sense now. It's a very deliberate strategy.
It definitely seems well thought out.
Now, earlier you mentioned those huge transaction volumes for stablecoins. How does that fit into MasterCard's thinking?
Right. Those numbers are, frankly, astonishing. And I think they explain the timing of this move.
Go on.
So, get this. In 2024, stablecoins processed nearly $14 trillion in transactions.
14 trillion.
Trillion. And here's the kicker. That actually surpassed Visa's volume for the same period, which was around $13 trillion.
Wait, stablecoins process more than Visa?
More than Visa. Think about that. This relatively new technology is already moving more value annually than one of the biggest, most established payment networks on the planet.
That really is a watershed moment, isn't it?
It feels like it, especially when you consider how young stablecoins are compared to Visa, which has been around for decades.
So Mastercard sees this trend.
And they want a piece of the action. If you look at, say, the average weekly volume in Q4 2024,
Okay.
stablecoins were averaging around $464 billion a week. Visa was around $319 billion.
Still higher for stablecoins, even on a weekly basis. The growth is rapid.
Incredibly rapid. So
Wow.
Mastercard is stepping in right as this market is exploding. They're positioning themselves to capture some of that flow.
And there's over $230 billion worth of stablecoins just sitting there, essentially. A huge pool of liquidity.
Exactly. By integrating them, Mastercard isn't just enabling payments, they're tapping into this massive existing pool of digital cash.
Which could open up new revenue streams for them, presumably.
You'd imagine so. Capturing even a small percentage of that $14 trillion, or whatever it grows to, is significant. Plus, stablecoin transactions can be more efficient, potentially. Well, potentially lower fees, faster settlement times, especially for cross-border stuff compared to some traditional methods. That efficiency could drive even more adoption by businesses and consumers.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up then. Summarize the key takeaway here.
Well, I think the main point is that Mastercard integrating stablecoins is a really big signal. It's a major step towards these digital currencies becoming, well, just normal.
Not just a niche tech thing anymore.
Right. Driven by, their huge network giving access, these clever partnerships building this infrastructure.
And the fact that stablecoins are already moving unbelievable amounts of money.
Yep.
Volumes rivaling the giants.
Exactly. So for you, the listener, the potential upside is, well, maybe a smoother, faster, more integrated way to handle money in the future. Digital assets woven into everyday finance.
Yeah, it certainly feels like things are shifting. Which brings us to a final thought, perhaps. Considering all these developments, Mastercard, the transaction volumes, the growing supply, how might the way we fundamentally think about and use money change in the next, say, 5 or 10 years as digital becomes truly mainstream?
That's the big question, isn't it? Something to definitely mull over.
Indeed. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.